I'm Rebecca from My Darling Cupcakes. I'm going to show you today this adorable little carnation ruffled flower. It looks just like this. You see here I already have one done. It looks kind of like a cute little ruffled carnation. It can also be adapted to make a ballerina skirt as well. So I'm going to show you the basics and you can adapt it to whatever you want it to do. All you need for this tutorial is just some rolled fondant. You see here I have just a little bit. You don't need a ton. A small rolling pin, a rounded ball tool, preferably a little foam block. You don't have to have one, it just makes it a little bit easier for this tutorial, and a little rolling mat to put your stuff on. As far as cutters go, I have this really simple biscuit cutter. I found one with a scalloped edge. I think it was actually just a few dollars, and it makes that flower petal look really nice. If you only have a round one, that works as well. You'll just really ruffle the edges, and I'll show you how to do that. And then here I have a very small heart cutter. Again, I found one with a scalloped edge. If you don't have that, again, not necessary, but if you can find them, great. And they're so common these days. So let's get started. Here I'm going to take my fondant. I'm going to work it out just a little bit to get it to room temperature. The warmth from your hand actually kind of warms up the fondant and kind of makes it more of a gummy paste type of thing. If you have gum paste, by the way, you can absolutely use that. It might actually work a little bit better, but fondant's a little bit easier to get a hold of. Now that I have it worked in a little bit, I'm going to come over here, place my fondant on my mat, and I'm just going to roll it flat out. You want this to be a very thin roll out because you want your ruffles to look more like flowers, so you want it to look very thin. So I would say not even 1/8 of a centimeter. It's very, very thin you're rolling this out because you really want to ruffle this and get a nice look to it. So that looks just about good. Make sure you're getting it even from the center out so it's an even consistency. Now I'm going to come in with my biscuit cutter, the scalloped edge, and push it in, kind of wiggle it just a little bit. What I like to do is pull away the outer part so it makes it easier to pull. And I'm going to come in with my little heart tool right here and do the same thing. Press in and wiggle just a little bit, then peel up the edges around it. It makes it easier to kind of pull that away. Now you're going to repeat the same step 4 times. So you're going to be making 4 of these round ones and 4 hearts. Now, to get this started, it's very simple, very easy. Pretty much anybody can do it. You're going to take your little foam block, and with the large side of your ball tool, again, you can find this at most baking supply stores. This is a Wilton tool. There's tons of them out there. And the same thing with the foam block as well. And you're just going to come in and gently do circle motions, starting from the inside and going out. Again, inside and going out. And that kind of, you can see how the veins are almost developing in this flower a little bit. Now, this is the important part, and this is why the foam piece makes it a little bit easier for you, because you can really press in. You're going to really come in, and you see how it flattens out that edge a little bit. You still see the scallops, but it really looks more like a flower, and it's not going to be completely uniform, which flowers in nature aren't uniform, so that inconsistency is actually quite desired for this look. So again, keep on rolling almost through and really work it in there and really smooth out those end pieces because you don't want them to look bulky. Now then come back in, roll in the center bit to kind of give you a foam piece there. And then what you're going to do is simply just take this, fold it in half like this, and then fold it over again on itself. So it's going to look just like this. And you can kind of see how these petals are forming. And you can kind of just fluff it a little bit. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take my, my heart piece and do the same thing. With this, I'm going to use the big side again of my roller, but all I'm going to do is start from the center again and just kind of roll out, and you can see how quickly this starts to take almost like a petal shape. And you do this, roll it all the way through, and you see how it kind of forms around my ball tool. So you really want it to look like that. Now I'm going to take it again, and just like before, fold it over on itself, and then fold it again. And on this, I'm going to pinch down on this end piece. Now, I'm going to move the stuff out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. Actually, I'm going to move this over here so you can actually see it. You can see over here, I've already got the 3 other pieces assembled. Remember, you need 4 of those round circle pieces and 4 of the heart pieces. And I have those assembled right here. I'm going to come in with our 4th piece, our 4th round circle piece, and see how it kind of flattens a little bit? Well, what you want to do is really, really pinch that up a little bit. So we're going to assemble that in. You're going to first come in and push down. You see it right in here where the seams meet. Push that down, and then pinch the leaves together. So you see the heat from your hand starts to kind of melt them together. And then you can kind of come in here too and work in this bottom piece as well. You really want to ruffle these little petals up a bit. And again, this is why I said that it could also work for a ballerina skirt. You can just continue to add these layers and put your little ballerina piece right in the center here, and it makes an adorable ballerina topper. Now for this piece, I'm going to take the heart piece that we just made, and you see here I've just kind of pushed them together kind of like a bouquet. You can see the 1 heart, 2 heart, 3 heart. I'm going to come in with my 4th heart here and just pinch it together. And you see how it kind of comes up with a little stem on the end piece here. All we're going to do is go in here and cover up that seam that we made with our little carnation, and that adds kind of the little bud. So that sits right in there, and you can ruffle up some pieces if some kind of got flattened and all that. But that's how simple that carnation piece looks. Now all you have to do is take a cupcake or a cake or whatever you're going to do, and you can also assemble quite a few of these and put them on as a cake topper. They would actually look quite lovely as a bridal topper. And just push it right on top of my cupcake. You see here, isn't that beautiful? Now you can also go in with some, I just took some food coloring and some water. I'm not particularly fond of the colored one. I actually really like how the white looks. What would look really lovely on this is actually some luster dust, or you could do some little airbrush spray with the edible food coloring. The possibilities are limitless, and this is so easy to make. I hope you like this video, and let me know if you try this. I'd really love to know how it turns out. I'm Rebecca from My Darling Cupcakes. Feel free to visit me on Facebook or www.mydarlingcupcakes.com. Have a nice day.